Hello, I am back with another beautiful video which brings so many insights for the coming year for us. Now, and I'm sure you'll connect with this video as well, just like you've been connecting with all the previous videos that I've made. And thank you so much for showing me your joy and your support in all my old videos. All right, without any further ado, let's just begin off with this video. Now, imagine if by 2026 you looked completely different. Like you looked healthier, you looked more abundant, more joyful. Now, what if the obstacles which you're facing right now did not even exist and it's the end of their story? And instead, the coming year 2026 is the setup of your biggest breakthrough, which you have not seen as yet. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create your breakthrough before 2026 using psychology, spiritual tools, and very, very simple techniques and practices which reprogram your mind for success. I'm Pearl. I'm a rapid transformational therapist and a hypnotherapist trained by Marisa Peer, and I help people rewire their minds and energies so that they can rise stronger than where they are right now. Now, 2026 might feel very far away, but the truth is that the breakthroughs of tomorrow are built by shifts that you start just today. Isn't that true? And isn't that a beautiful saying? Now, most people don't get their breakthroughs because they're trapped in mental loops of self-doubt. I spoke about these mental loops, like, a negative thought which is running through your mind because your brain starts to think it's important. That's mental loops. Other reason why people are trapped in, or they cannot go to their breakthrough years is when they have a fear of repeating the past. Oh my God, this happened in the past. This is going to happen again. This happened somewhere. This person did this. My husband, like I said, I've always talked about my marriage and my, and the state that I was in. I've always spoken about it. And I'm telling you, I was in a fear of repeating my past, which is why I just could not go beyond and get to a progressive mode, because I had developed an indefinite fear of, oh my God, this has happened in the past. He's going to do it again. Now, I just completely, had blinded myself for seeing any progress because I was just so stuck in the past. And the third thing is, which is stopping you from getting your biggest breakthrough, is the waiting for the perfect time. Oh, right now is not the right time. We are going to do it then. When everything is going to be in its ideal setup is when, we are going to do, a certain thing. That is also, a situation where you are procrastinating your breakthrough because you're just waiting for a perfect time. Now, here's the truth. The perfect time never comes. What comes, and what is important is that for a breakthrough, you really have to decide to shift your mind today. And you have to shift your mind from repeating to rebuilding. And I'm going to explain this, this part again. You have to stop, repeating the same patterns of, failure or, a bad feeling or a fear. These patterns have to move from repeating to rebuilding. So now if there was fear at a certain level, you have to rebuild and make it, overlap that fear incident with a new incident. That's how your biggest breakthrough comes. That's how you are erasing or removing or forgetting all the negative feelings and filling the the cavities of those negative feelings with positive feelings, and then when everything is feeling positive, your breakthrough is inevitable. There is nothing that can stop your breakthrough from happening. Now this might sound a little complicated right now. Let me just simplify things for you. All right, so the first step of the breakthrough framework is rewrite the story. Now, you ask yourself, what story am I telling myself about why I can't? So, let's say if I say, my relationship is not working. I am hopeless. It's not going to work. So, yes, the story that I'm telling myself is what cannot happen. Now, you swap it. The challenge is preparing me. Instead of saying that this whole situation is going to break my relationship, my situation is, not ever going to get fixed. If you replace it with a thought, the swapping theory, that, this is a situation in my life which has not come to break my relationship. It has come to actually make my relationship more flexible. So this challenging situation has come to prepare me and not punish me. If I start looking at these things this way, I am developing a mindset of a leader instead of a victim. Does that make sense? The second thing is rituals of renewal. Of course, we have to find where a negative or where a stuck or a fixated thought is coming in. Replace it, like I, in the previous video also said, I do garlands of fear. I remove them and I exchange them with garlands of joy. So if I'm experiencing fear in my relationship, I see myself wearing a garland of fear, negativity, a lot of burden, stress, and I feel like, it is in my control. It's just a garland in my neck, and I can remove it, and I can throw it to the universe, and the universe instead can now renew it and now give me a fresh garland, which, I'm wearing from my, or maybe my husband is, giving me that fresh garland of sweet smelling flowers, jasmines. I love jasmines. So yeah, it's coming. So the point is about replacing that negative thought with a positive feeling. That's the most important step, and that is what I refer to as rewriting your story. The second thing is rituals of renewal. Now, what are the rituals? How are you going to renew it? How are you going to keep it, consistent? How are you going to, visually be able to see that, okay, this thing is really happening. It's not just a one-day thing. So first, gratitude journaling in the morning. You have to express your gratitude every morning for anything. Something as simple as being able to breathe, being able to enjoy the food that you like, being able to experience love in your life, just that expression of gratitude is what programs your mind to see positivity around you. And then that looping thought which comes in your head, which your brain feels, the negative loop thought which comes in your head, where your brain thinks it is important, the brain stops thinking that way. And now what your brain starts to loop in your mind is, wow, you have such a positive life. Wow, you can breathe well. You have a very positive life. So now the loop which is running in your mind when you're performing these rituals of renewal is what? What is it? That you are in a prosperous state. Because in the end, we all know that anything that shows in our outside world is what first runs in our inside world. So if we are going to feel that we are prosperous from within, is when we are going to see prosperity in our outer world. And even if we have the best of best in our outer world and we do not feel prosperous from within, we will not be able to see prosperity outside as well, irrespective of whatever material possessions we have. All right, so the second ritual is 5 minutes of visualization. Imagine yourself already living a breakthrough. Like I always have imagined myself in a happy marriage. A marriage which is supremely prosperous, where my husband is supremely fond of me. That belief, like I said, your brain cannot differentiate between what is the reality and what is, a fake thing that you're creating. It doesn't know. All it cares about is the emotions you're experiencing. So the minute you're going to start seeing that picture of, wow, I'm enjoying so much with my husband, wow, we're exchanging garlands of joy, wow, we're going out for vacations, we're having such romantic conversations, we have a very happy son and a very happy dog. I have a lovely dog, Sunshine. So, if you're saying that, your brain automatically starts to run which loop? The loop of prosperity in your mind, the loop of a happy relationship in your mind. And so it comes the third ritual after that is the evening reset. Release what is not yours to carry forward. This action, any stuck energy, any negative energy which is still stuck in your mind, which says it's heavy, which creates hopelessness, which creates negative feeling of any sort, has to move out of your neck, because that's the garland you don't want in your life, and you are giving it back to the universe to absorb and take care of. You don't have to worry. Any person you feel negative from, any person, you can give that garland back to him. You don't need to have any grudge for him. He can take care. That person can also remove that garland and throw it off to the universe, whatever they want to do. But you are off any negative energy before you sleep. And then you have to replace that negative energy with positive energy of fresh flowers, which you smell. I smell them, right? I promise I smell jasmines while I'm talking to you. So yeah, just doing that before you sleep is going to give you a feeling of freshness and a feeling of gratitude. So while you sleep and when you wake up, in both the situations, in both the times, you are experiencing happiness, you're experiencing joy, you're experiencing prosperity. And so what loop is running in your mind in your alpha state? By the way, alpha state is a sleeping state when you are ready to sleep, get into slumber, and when you're ready to wake up from a slumber. So if you have fed while you were ready to sleep, that a loop of prosperity, it is going to run through your beta state. Beta is when you're sleeping, and then it is going to come all the way into your alpha state when you're ready to wake up. So what are you programming your mind for? The biggest breakthrough in the coming year, which is 2026. All right. And now the third thing that you need in your breakthrough framework is, of course, the first one is rewrite your story, replace any negative thoughts. Second one is rituals of renewal. Like I said, great visualization, expressing gratitude, and evening reset. And then the third step is micro actions daily. Small, consistent steps build the comeback. So you have visualized everything. You're running a loop. Now, to support that consistency, you have to back it up with action. It has to be physical. When you say action, it has to be something tangible, something which you can see, which you can feel, which you can touch. So for example, when I was handling my tough marriage, I would find courses, I would find articles on my, maybe understanding male psychology, on understanding how to get toxic people out of your relationship, these kind of things. So that was a physical action that I was doing, something which I was doing to, support and tell my brain that, look, it's not just something which I'm watching on a TV screen. It is something which I truly want, and I feel it to the level of doing everything possible for it. And that action does not have to be like a major, like picking up the rock action. It has to be something simple yet consistent. All right, so something as simple as one phone call, calling your husband and saying, I love you, or, just expressing, or one page written, one video posted. Each is a brick in the foundation of that breakthrough. That is very, very important. So Like I said, I have been stuck in my marriage, in my loop of sadness. I felt unseen and unloved for years, and that drained me. But these steps have actually made me shift when I did the garland exchanging thing. And I took chapters of, I took lessons on male psychology, understanding that, sometimes giving them that space is very important for them to recover and rejuvenate and actually be able to think. So, all these things, eventually led me to a breakthrough in 2025, I'm telling you, okay? Which is why I'm making a video for 2026, because I am testifying that I went through a breakthrough in my marriage in 2025. And I actually started working on my marriage and, following these regular rituals of micro actions daily and replacing my negative thought and visualizing all these steps in the starting of the year 2025. And this was as fast as being able to, get into a very happy space in my marriage by the month of June 2025. So that's how fast it went through for me. So yes, I'm telling you, if it went through for me, it can go through for you as well. And that is the reason I am telling you, you do not need to be perfect. You do not need to be in a state where, you have to just pick up a rock. You just need to be consistent. All right. So finally, here's how you create your biggest breakthrough for the year 2026. Write down one loop that you're leaving behind in 2025. Number one. Write down one intention for 2026 for your 2026 breakthrough. And every day do one micro action aligned with that intention. When you have that loop, you have to replace it, right? And that's why you say that, your intention has to show up in 2026. So for example, if you're thinking that, oh my God, I can't do a business. In 2026, I am going to do this business. And what do you do today? You have micro actions ready for them. You have to do small steps, even if it is as simple as researching for the right business, right? And then of course, when when you're setting up that intention, you have to get up, you have to express gratitude every day. You have to replace that loop with a negative, with a positive thought. Just replace it, like, oh, I cannot do business, I'm so stressed. That's your loop. And your replacing thought should be, I can do it. It's just that right now I am experiencing challenges and there's fear, because I have to learn how to overcome these things, because these things can come in my business as well. So these challenges are making me strong and prepared for my business. How simple is that? And then you're expressing your gratitude every morning, and you're setting your mind loop to only experience positivity and prosperity. Because when your brain feels that you're in a prosperous state, it is only going to express positive and show you positive things and positive manifestations. So that is exactly how your brain is going to operate. All right, just remember, it doesn't need to be perfect. It only needs to be consistent. Yeah. So your biggest breakthrough isn't waiting for some future date. It begins the very second you choose it. And so you have to believe that your biggest breakthrough is coming in 2026, and you are absolutely ready to dive into that breakthrough. Yeah, and act accordingly. So comment below with the word you want to define as your 2020 breakthrough, whether it's freedom, whether it's abundance, whether it's setting up a business, courage, just whatever it is. Just let's declare it together. If this spoke to you, subscribe and join me, because your breakthrough is closer than you think. We are in this journey of progress, manifestation, and beauty together. Thank you.